Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just being officially updating you on some more latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to this channel as always. So I do believe that Manchester United do need at least 3 more signings, if we are to be back to being a competitive elite level football club, and if we are back to be up there of course winning silverware. I credit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he did recommend 3 good signings into the football club throughout the course in the summer, and we did spend around I think it was over £140 million on Daniel James, Harry Maguire, and of course on Wan-Bissaka. But we are all aware that further more investment is needed in the squad. But I think we have seen glimpses of what good signings Daniel James, Harry Maguire, and Wan-Bissaka have proven to be so far. So it's good in the aspect that we did address some of the problematic areas. We got that experienced centre half in. We also got that right back in. But it was a shame, that we didn't recommend a midfielder in, throughout the course of the summer, because that's one of the priority areas, of course, where Manchester United do need to strengthen up. So I have got, element of concerns about that midfield. But you can put the blame on the board basically. The blame does stem from the board, because obviously they didn't back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer enough, as the board did assure that he would have been backed, throughout the course of the summer. So I do believe in that aspect, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be backed in the next couple of windows. So I do believe he needs to get given the time required. But the board didn't recommend any sufficient midfielders in, or any sufficient attackers. And don't forget, for the majority of the summer was in search for right winger. So definitely further more investment is needed in the squad. But the question is, who will Manchester United sign in January? Who will Manchester United sign next summer? But like I did say, definitely further more investment is needed in the squad, because we didn't address all the problematic areas throughout the course of the summer. But this has only been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first summer anyway as Manchester United, so reflecting on that, it was always going to be hard for us to address all the problematic areas in one window. And you can still quite frankly say that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United squad. Obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer worked out his transfer strategy earlier on in the summer. He did say he wanted to recommend a number of young players to the football club, and he's sticking to the same policy I think for next summer and January. He wants to sign young British players, like he did do earlier on in the summer. But yeah, we have got quite a few players on our agenda, who we could go in for next summer. Reportedly, we have targeted 5 British players. Reportedly, we've identified Jadon Sancho and James Maddison as our 2 priority, as our 2 main priority targets. And I did say James Maddison and Jadon Sancho, they would be the right solutions for Manchester United. Obviously, James Maddison would add depth in our midfield. He'd bring that creativeness in that midfield. Obviously, we're seeing James Maddison as an adequate replacement for Paul Pogba, because obviously, despite the fact that Paul Pogba did remain loyal to the football club this summer, I do believe his plans for the future is to leave Manchester United and of course join Real Madrid, because I do believe Paul Pogba's first choice preference is to make a move to Real Madrid. So I think James Maddison, like I said, would be a good adequate replacement for him, because he's primarily an attacking midfielder as James Maddison, but he actually can play on the left, because Brendan Rodgers has played James Maddison on the left quite a few times. But yeah, predominantly is an attacking midfielder. We are aware that James Maddison and Jadon Sancho, that duo will cost the football club a substantial amount of money. Probably Jadon Sancho will cost us in the excess of around £100 million. So obviously we'll have to break our club record to get a deal over the line for him, because obviously our most expensive signing at the moment is Paul Pogba, who of course the club did pay around £89 million for. But yeah, Jadon Sancho will cost us in the excess of around £100 million, and I do believe that James Maddison will cost us from between £70 to £80 million, to convince Leicester to offload him. And don't forget, we have got the financial power, to meet them valuations, because don't forget, we're known for spending big on players, and we spent a lot of money, at the football club in the last 6 or 7 years, and I did say, reflecting on the amount of money that's being spent at the football club, maybe we should be in much more of a commanding position, than we're in now. And also we're well known, for overpaying for players. We're well known for overpaying for players, and then when it comes to letting them go, we'll let them go for next to nothing. And there has been prime examples of that this summer. We did it with Darmian. I know he was service to requirements at the football club anyway, and it was no surprise that he left the football club, Darmian. But I was just surprised, of how much we let him go for. I know he had under a year left on his current deal, when he was at the club. But I'm surprised we let him go for just over £3 million, because don't forget, we paid just over £12 million for Darmian back back in 2015 from Torino. This was actually back under the Louis van Gaal era, and obviously we let him go for just over 3 million. So in that aspect, we've lost out on around £9.1 million. We did it with Ander Herrera this summer, don't forget. Obviously, we let his contract run down and we let him go on a free transfer, and you can arguably say he was one of our best players since the Alex Ferguson era. Herrera had 5 great years at the football club, 5 successful years. He had rough patches here and there, he had a bad spell under Mourinho and that, but I think prior to that, he was mainly consistent for Manchester United. And again, it was a shame that we didn't recruit a replacement for him, but we paid £29 million for him from Atletico Bilbao, back in 2014 and that, and obviously we've let him go on a free transfer, so we've lost out on £29 million there. But yeah, I'd love James Maddison and Jadon Sancho in at the football club. James Maddison can create chances. Obviously this got indicated out last season because he created more chances than any other player in the Premier League. Don't forget, James Maddison had created around 100 chances in the Premier League last season. That was more than any other player. He was involved in 14 goals last season. Don't forget, he produced 7 goals and 7 assists. Obviously he's still got 4 years left on his current contract with Leicester. Obviously, Leicester, did pay around £20 million for him from Norwich last summer. Obviously, this is his second season now with Leicester he's in his second season. Obviously, last season was his debut season in the Premier League, with Leicester. But reportedly, Man United have been in for James Maddison since June. There was reports emerging out last week saying that, it's more than likely we'll leave it till next summer to go in for him. But there was rumours emerging out saying that we could actually, go for James Maddison in January. Obviously, don't forget, we've done business with Leicester earlier on this summer because obviously we got the pursuit of Harry Maguire. Obviously, we paid £80 million for him, so obviously he's our second most expensive signing at the football club. Obviously, he's now the most expensive defender in the world, and I think he's addressed our defensive deficiencies fantastically well. He's blending in that back line alongside Lindelof really, really well. But if Leicester, like I said, are to do any business, they will demand a similar fee to what they did do for Harry Maguire. So yeah, but I'd love James Maddison. We was only tentatively linked to him throughout the course of the summer. He wasn't one of our main priority targets, but I think he blended in that midfield really, really well. Only 22 years of age. I think quite a few other teams were tracking him when he was a youngster at Coventry, because don't forget he began his career with Coventry, did James Maddison. He also had a loan spell in Scotland with Aberdeen, but I think he's done really, really well with Leicester, and he is flourishing under Brendan Rodgers' guidance. And it would be even more beneficial if Pogba was to stay at the football club, and we could possibly renew his contract, and bringing James Maddison in as well. I would be excited about the prospects of Maddison playing alongside Pogba in our midfield. But I still believe that Pogba is going to leave the football club in January. If he doesn't leave in January, I think he will leave next summer. And Jadon Sancho, in regards to Jadon Sancho, Jadon Sancho has recently come out and give us an update, regarding his future, and he reportedly said, he would love to win titles with Borussia Dortmund, but obviously he would want to win titles, with Borussia Dortmund, but he has said, he doesn't know what his future holds. So what he's basically saying in the aspect is he isn't refusing, to rule out a move from Borussia Dortmund next summer. If we are to go back in for Jadon Sancho, it will definitely be next summer. I don't think the club, will go in for him in January, because I think Jadon Sancho is staying at Borussia Dortmund at least for this season. Like I said, he is going to cost us around £100 million. Don't forget, we went in for Jadon Sancho earlier on in the summer. Don't forget, we identified Jadon Sancho as our number 1 priority target, back in January. But obviously, our move for Jadon Sancho never materialised, because obviously we failed to qualify for the Champions League. And I did say with our failure to qualify for the Champions League, it went against us in the summer transfer window, because I did say certain players at a certain calibre and level would have had reservations about joining the football club, obviously with our failure to qualify for the Champions League. So that was the main thing that went against us in that. But Jadon Sancho is only 19 years of age. Obviously he's primarily a right winner. He is now into his 3rd season as a Borussia Dortmund player. I think he has made around 62 or 63 first team appearances for Dortmund, and I think he scored around 17 goals. Don't forget, he's under contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022. But like I did say, he's a very, very good player, and he's been a fruition, for Borussia Dortmund. Like I said, he's had 2 successful seasons. Obviously, Borussia Dortmund got him for next to note. They only paid around £7 or £8 million to him. only around £7 or £8 million. But obviously, reflecting on his consistency with Dortmund, his valuation has obviously continued to grow persistently with his reflecting on his recent performances. But like I did say, it's also beneficial because he's had experience of playing in the Premier League. Don't forget Sancho served a couple of years with Manchester City, never really got assured first team opportunities with Manchester City. So this is the main reason why I left Manchester City, to join Borussia Dortmund. But if he came back to the Premier League, I think it would be more beneficial for his career. I think it would help him with his development more. I think it'd also create him a better platform for him in that. But he's a player that's good on and off the ball. He's got electrifying pace. He's really good at creating chances. And I did say I would be excited about the prospects of Jadon Sancho playing alongside the likes of Rashford, Daniel James, and Martial in our attacking line. So them two are our main priority targets for next summer. There's also been other players, names, thrown into the hat, who we could potentially go in for next summer. Sean Longstaff has been mentioned, don't forget. We was in for Sean Longstaff, throughout the course of the summer. Obviously, Solskjaer wanted to recommend Sean Longstaff in. There's also been talks Callum Wilson, he's on our agenda reportedly. Nathan Collins is on our agenda, and obviously we do know that they are all British and that. But like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does want to stick with the same policy. Like I did say, we haven't enjoyed a great start to this season. Obviously, we are 5 games now into the season. Obviously, we've won 2, we've drawn 2, and lost 1 so far. So in that aspect, so far we have registered 8 points from a possible 15. But it is still only early on in the season. Like I did say, now with that win against Leicester, it should give us some confidence now, to go on the Marine run and that. Because obviously, we do want to get that top 4 this season. That's very essential indeed, or win the Europa League, because obviously we do want to get back into the Champions League. But I did say at the end of last season, they also said building up to this season, our expectations this season, will be to finish in that top 4, because and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got to exceed these expectations, obviously, to remain at the football club, and I said I'm hopeful, that his tenure, can become successful at Manchester United. Solskjaer's been, here, since December of last year. And that obviously don't forget, he did well in that 3-month period, when he was the interim manager. Obviously the results were good, the performances were good, he was getting the best out of these group of players, but we do know it's all seems to have gone wrong since he got the job back in March earlier on this year. But like I said, he does need more time. People, reflecting on our bad start to the season and that, it's obviously some of the blame does stem from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously some of his tactics in that are questionable. Also some of the blame does stem from the team, but it's good that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is trying sort of different formulas and that. It's good that he's got a lot of trustworthy in his young upcoming players. So I will credit him in that aspect. I will credit him in that aspect and that. But don't forget, we have got injuries in the team, and when you've got quite a few players out, with injury that are, especially imperative players, obviously it's going to make a difference in that. And it was a good result against Leicester, winning by 1-0, keeping a clean sheet. Obviously Leicester have enjoyed a pretty decent start this season, that, and we've got quite a lot of injuries, so it was a good result. Reflect on the amount of injuries and that we had. And we've got obviously players now out with injury. Obviously, as it did confirm yesterday. Obviously, we do know Luke Shaw, Paul Pogba, Anthony Martial, and Daniel James all had to, were all absent from training. We do know that Daniel James is the reason. He is the recent absentee. Obviously, he sustained a knock in the 1-0 victory over Leicester. So as it has been confirmed, Daniel James will not be playing tonight in the game against FC Mestania. And I think Daniel James, like I said, he's enjoyed a really good start to his Manchester United career. And I think so far what I've seen of him this season at Man United, he's replicating what he did with Swansea last season, because don't forget he only made his senior debut back in February 2018, did Daniel James. But yeah, he has sustained and I don't think it's too severe in that, so I think he should be back for the game against West Ham on Sunday. So he's the recent absentee. Like we know, Paul Pogba's out with an ankle injury. Don't forget, Pogba had to withdraw from the France squad quite a few weeks ago now. Obviously, he missed a 1-0 victory over Leicester, and that's obviously, the Man Matic in that particular game had fulfilled, Paul Pogba's role. But hopefully, Pogba, he'll be missing tonight as well, as we all know, but he should be back for Sunday. And analysing Paul Pogba's performances, so far this season, I don't think he's been brilliant, but I don't think he's been particularly bad. He hasn't performed to the same sort of extent as how, Martial, Dan James, Pasaka, and, Harry Maguire in that performed. But I think he has done okay in patches. Obviously, I don't think he's yet to score this season, but I think he has, provided quite a few assists. But yeah, we know he's out with an ankle injury. Anthony Martial. Now, Martial has missed the last 2 games. We know that he's out with a thigh injury. He sustained this thigh injury in the 2-1 defeat, to Crystal Palace earlier on in the season. Like I did say, it might have been a bit severe, because if he wouldn't have been that severe, he would have, participated in, one in the last 2 games, at least. Obviously, he's missed the last 2 games. He's going to miss this game tonight, so that will be the 3rd game on the trot. He has missed in all competitions. But again, Martial should be back for Sunday. And Martial's enjoyed a great start to this season. Martial now is into his 5th season as a Manchester United player. Don't forget, he has scored 50 goals for the football club in all competitions since his arrival from Monaco back in 2015, I think it was. Obviously, Martial has been here since the Louis van Gaal Moreira. And analysing the majority of his Man United career, I think he's had bad spells, he's had good spells and that, but I think what I've seen of him so far this season, before Martial had sustained this thigh injury, he's replicating, what he did in his debut season back under Louis van Gaal, because don't forget, we've got Martial as a 19-year-old, and don't forget, he did score in his competitive debut at home to Liverpool that particular season, and I think he scored 17 goals, did Martial, in his debut season. He is 23 years of age, and he is developing, fantastically well, and like I said, we give him a new contract, back in January, so that's very, very good news. We give him a new contract, in January, so he's under contract with the football club until, I think, 2024, because he did sign a 5-year deal. He's got that number 9 shirt, as we all know, so he's playing more centrally this season. Rashford's fulfilled Martial as well in the last two games, due to Martial's absence, but they are comparable in that aspect to both players, Martial and Rashford, they can both play centrally, they can both play out wide, but I think Rashford, when he plays this season, obviously he's played on a regular basis this season, but obviously I think he'll mainly play on the flank, when Martial's, fully fit, because Martial's more of the standout player in that central position, as that did get proven, throughout pre-season. As that did get proven, throughout pre-season. But Martial should be back for Sunday. And like I did say, in regards to Luke Shaw, we do know he's out with a hamstring injury. He's also missed the last 2 games. He's also going to miss tonight, is Luke Shaw. I don't think, I've got a lot of doubts that Luke Shaw is going to be available, for the game against West Ham on Sunday. I think his return date is supposed to be on the 30th of September. That's obviously, when we go to Arsenal, so he should regain full fitness for the Arsenal game at the end of this month. Luke Shaw, like I said, very, very imperative player for Man United. I think analysing the majority of his Man United career, I think he's been mainly consistent as Luke Shaw. Still very, very young, still got a lot of development in him. Don't forget, won the double player of the season last season, reflecting on his impressive performances. So yeah, we know that he's out and that. Eric Bailly's a long-term absence, he's out with a knee injury, he's Eric Bailly, so he's out until the new year. We know Fosu Mensah is also, a long-term absence for the football club. Jesse Lingard, good news about him, he's now, I think his illness has gone. Don't forget, he missed the Leicester game, due to illness, but I think still a vast majority of Man United fans would like to see him dropped, reflect on his bad performances so far this season, because, he hasn't been great so far this season, Jesse Lingard. Diego Dalot, he's now returned to full fitness, which is very, very, well, I think he has. Reports were emerging out yesterday saying that Diego Dalot is now, he was back in training, because he's recently, don't forget, been out with a groin problem as Diego Dalot. Obviously, he's not yet played for Manchester United this season, but actually, could be in line to start this evening against FC Astana. Yeah. Yeah. Have you? Are there?
What time do they get up on the morning? How many times do they eat a day? They're fucking not like that. I told them as well.
Just wait there a minute.
There you go shopping. Shopping, what with? Charlotte, she went, do you go shopping? I went, no. She
Yeah.
went, what do you do then for days? I went, sit about like a cabbage drinking all day.
Alright.
That's what I said to him.
Yeah.
I went, I don't think I should be here. She sat there and she went, I get the impression, she knew I didn't want to be there, we're going like that, we're going. And she went, I get the, Alan, I get the impression you don't want to be here. So I went, I don't want to be here. I said, my dad's just died a couple of months ago. And they're asking me, assessing me for work. She went, I agree with you. I don't think they should be assessing you for work. But that's what they do.
Yeah.
How many meals do you have a day? It's
Yeah.
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many meals do you have a day?
Yeah.
What time do you get up in the morning?
Yeah.
They're fucking crazy. Would it a woman with glasses on with blonde hair?
Yeah. Dad, shut door.
Same woman as I got. With blonde hair with glasses.
Got it. But sorry about that, just talking and yeah, so we have got quite a few injuries, but Solskjaer has confirmed, he's going to go with the young players tonight in the game against FC Astana. So it has been short. Greenwood starting tonight for Man United. Chuanzebe starting tonight for Man United, and Sergio Romero will be starting tonight with Man United, and he's going to make alterations tonight anyway, because obviously in this particular game we've got the opportunity to go more with the youth, and I think in the game against Rochdale in the Carabao Cup on the 25th of this month, he'll also have more of the opportunity to go with the young players and that, because we have got a lot of young players that are developing and trying to improve at Manchester United and that, but Solskjaer has got a lot of trust with these young players, so Mason Greenwood will be starting from the start tonight, which I'm very happy about. Romero will be fulfilling David De Gea's role in goal, because Romero's got that experience, don't forget, of playing in that goal and that, which is very, very good, because Romero's done well in the cup competitions in the past and that. Tuanzebe, obviously we know he's a defender, he will be playing tonight, which is very, very good. Phil Jones and Rojo could possibly make their first appearances for the club this season tonight. They've obviously not yet played this season, Phil Jones and Rojo, but I even believe some of the players that are even out with injury, I think some of them could be rested. I think Maguire will be rested tonight for the West Ham game. Probably Lindelof will be rested tonight. Maybe Wan-Bissaka will be rested tonight, especially now with the good news about Diego Dalot. I think McTominay should keep his place in the team tonight, because he's enjoyed a really, really good start to this season. As Scott McTominay, in regards to him being the long-term solution for Man United, I've got an element of concerns about that. But so far this season he's been fantastic, and obviously he's Solskjaer's preference over Nemanja Matic, is Scott McTominay. So yeah, really, really good start to the season. He's had Fred as well. Should be involved tonight. He actually could start the game. Fred hasn't really played much this season. I think he's only played once or twice this season. That's obviously not off the bench. Don't know if he's the long-term solution for Man United, Fred. But yeah, Solskjaer did say he expects to see better things from him. Like I did say, Pereira, he could be named in the squad tonight. Angel Gomez, should get given the chance tonight. I don't think he's yet played so far this season. He didn't actually say, he's going to be a big part of the squad this season. Chong, like I did say, he should be involved tonight. Whether he starts or not, I do not know. But like I did say with Chong, he's staying at the football club at least for this season, which is very, very good news. Obviously, you confirm that, he turned down loan offers to PSV in his former club, Feyenoord. Don't forget, Chong's only managed 4 first-team appearances for the football club since his arrival from Feyenoord back in 2016. Reports were emerging out the other week saying that he was in negotiations with the football club over a new long-term contract, don't forget. But Chong is only 19 years of age. But Solskjaer did say, like he did say in regards to Mason Greenwood, he will also be assured more first team opportunities this season and that. But yeah, this is the chance tonight, and I think we should win tonight anyway. We need to win tonight. Obviously, I think analysing our squad, it's definitely probably not good enough, to win the Europa League. We did it a couple of years ago under the Jose Mourinho era. We did beat Ajax by 2-0, and we are unbeaten in our last 11 Europa League games, don't forget. And this is actually the first ever competitive meeting between an English side and a Kazakhstan side. As FC Astana are the Kazakhstan champions. I think they're midway through their season now at this present time. I think they are sitting third in the Kazakhstan Premier League. But we've actually lost 2 of our last 2 European home games and that, and we've never actually lost 3 at all Trafford before. But yeah, looking forward to the game this evening. Like I said, in our group we've got FC Astana, Partizan Beograd, and also AZ Alkmaar and that. Like I said, the review for that game, after should be coming up tonight. If it isn't tonight, it will be coming up tomorrow morning. The review for that game. Then the West Ham Man United preview should be coming up either tomorrow evening, sometime. If it isn't tomorrow evening, it will be on Saturday. The West Ham Manchester United preview, will be coming up. So these games, coming up thick and fast. But like I said, Solskjaer, wants to bring that fear factor back to the football club. He wants to bring that winning mentality back to the club, because it hasn't been there, since the Alex Ferguson and Riri, let's be honest. And I did say, I just don't think we're ever going to be seeing that was under Ferguson. We're never going to replicate what we did under Ferguson. No one's going to follow Alex Ferguson's legacy in that. And regardless of who my manager is, but I will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer all the way. I think regardless of what happens this season, like I did say to you regularly, I think Solskjaer's job should be safer for him at least this season. Regardless of what happens. So even if we do miss out on the top 4 this season, I still think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, will remain in the job, because I think he just needs a bit more time and that. Don't forget, the majority of this squad's not his. He's inheriting a lot of players here from the Jose Mourinho era. Still, he's still inheriting players here from the Louis van Gaal era. He's still matter here from the David Moyes era, and there's still players here from the Alex Ferguson era. So Solskjaer, don't forget, he's inheriting all of them players. But yeah, so we've got to give him time. I know a lot of money's been spent at this football club in the last 6 or 7 years or so. Around £900 million has been spent, in all the managerial eras. Has been spent in all the managerial areas and that. So yeah, so it's going to take us a couple of years, to get us back, to where we do currently want to be in that. I think, I haven't really seen much improvements from this season than what I saw last season, because, I've given my overarching view so far in this season, and, we're not playing particularly badly. In certain games, we do actually play quite well. It's just that, we don't, score enough goals. We're not being clinical enough in front of goal. We do create a lot of chances, just like we did last season, but we're not being clinical enough in front of goal. And obviously, this is something, that Manchester United do need to justify. Maybe you can say we're lacking leaders in the team. We need someone who can come in who's better, at taking set pieces and that. But for me, it was a shame that we didn't recruit a replacement for Lukaku. We didn't obviously get that replacement for Fernando Herrera in that midfield or Fellaini. We didn't get it, which was obviously a shame. A lot of players have left, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival, as you're all aware of. But despite the fact that a lot have left now since Solskjaer arrived, I still think he is, now problematic players at the football club. But yeah, definitely, we need to get at least 3 more signings in, because Solskjaer said early on in the summer, he wanted to recommend at least 5 new additions to the squad. This is what he had basically said. But a lot of people have got doubts about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He hasn't really got the experience of a manager, to the highest level. He did really, really well at Molde. He won 2 Norwegian titles, and I think he won a couple of other honours as well at Molde. So he accomplished at Molde and that. But can he replicate at Manchester United what he did with Molde? And that is the question. He also had a short tenure at Cardiff. Don't forget, when he was younger, but he didn't work out for him at Cardiff. Obviously, he got them relegated and that. But like I said, I love Solskjaer a lot. He was a club legend. He was a great player for Man United for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance. So I will, back him all the way. But just hopefully, we can get, a couple of more signings in January and perhaps next summer. But we just need to try. We need to be competing for the top 4 by January. If we've got any chances, getting players, that we do want to the football club. But like I did say, we will see what happens. So yeah, like I said, the review for the Manchester United FC Astana game will be coming up this evening or tomorrow on that. And I think this season, Solskjaer will sort of try different formations and that, but I think he'll go with that 4-2-3-1 formation on a regular basis this season. That's what I do believe. Yeah, so anyway guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe, as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.